Hello and welcome to another Q&A Thursday. How exciting, it comes around really quickly. Okay, welcome everybody who's joining me. It's great to be here. I've got a brilliant question to bring to you today that was asked by Phil, very brave question, so thank you, Phil. So first off though, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping. So if you could let me know if you can see and hear me by just commenting in the comment bar down on the bottom right hand side. So that would be great. All right. I'm just going to wait to make sure everyone can see and hear me. And I'm just checking that I'm all... Hello, Flick. All right. Good. Hello, Hayley. All right. I spoke to Hayley the other day. How are you doing? All right. Good. Fantastic. All right, so I've got some people on board and people can see and hear me, so that's a good thing. All right, so first, as I said, I've got a question from Phil, so thank you, Phil. It was a really good one. First, it took me back and I thought, oh, good question. Had a bit of brainstorming session with the team and we came up with some really good answers for you. So you would have got those through your email. So, and I'll share that with the rest of the team with your permission. You gave me permission to share that with the rest of the team. So I'll share those today. Remember, as per normal, hi Kim, how you going? Welcome. As per normal, if you've got any questions, please fill them out in the comments bar below. I will be checking from time to time to see if anybody's put something up there, so that's great. Don't leave it to the last second. I had one a couple of weeks ago that was left at the last second, and just as I pressed the off button, the question came up. So try not to leave it to the last second if you can help it. So we're going to go through and talk about this question and go through the answer with you. I'm going to share my screen with you, so bear with me for about 20 seconds while I turn my screen share on. Through really easy. Okay, live coaching, 29th of June 2017. Woo woo. Okay, so let's have a look at what question Phil had for us. So Phil said, everybody talks about great leaders, but what makes a really crap leader? Which is a great question, don't you think? And I think, you know, all of us have probably had an experience of somebody where we didn't think were a great leader for one reason or the other. And I think, you know, people hold an oversimplified idea of what leadership means. Something is just guiding others to complete a task, or others confuse it with it's just all about motivation. But in truth, leadership is a really, it's a complex blend of competencies and capabilities that you really need to be agile with. So it means communicating and empathizing and directing and modeling and teaching and mentoring. But above all of that, it's more about trusting and serving others. So there are a few qualities that can kill even a strong leadership. So I'm going to go through some of the deadliest ones. And what I would suggest to you is that you try and keep as far away from these as you possibly can, because these are things that do not allow you to be the great leader that you want to be. So the first one is dishonesty. So I don't know if you've ever come across this, but honesty is one of the most important qualities of a leader. So when you come across a leader that's dishonest, then your trust goes down. And that old adage of a lie can take care of the present, but it has no future is so true, you know. So think back on when you may have experienced this and how it's made you feel. And honestly, dishonesty is not part of your leadership remit that you should be considering. Another one is arrogance. So I don't know if I know I had a leader that was quite arrogant when I was in the military. Thought he knew it all, had a really high ego, and all those sorts of things. But it doesn't bode well for a leader to have a high level of arrogance. You need to keep your ego in check, and it does diminish leadership. People start not listening to you. You start losing credibility. Oh, another Kim. Hi, Kim. How you going? You start to lose credibility. So you just need to you just need to try and put that aside and leave your ego in check at the door if you can. Another one is fear. So fear is okay. Fear is your friend. So you need to be brave enough to know that you don't know. You need to be courageous enough to put your hand up and say you need a hand. You know, if you're fearful of people thinking, oh, maybe they should think I should know this, or maybe, you know, don't be fearful of that. It hasn't got a place in great leadership. So it says here, successful leaders experience fear, and then they fuel it into something bold and brave. The fears we don't face, though, become our deadly limits. So absolutely. So if you're fearful about something, if you're fearful about people realizing that you don't know as much as you don't, you know, or you don't know as much as you should know, if you're fearful about people talking behind your back, if you're fearful about whatever you're fearful about, that will become your limit. So we need to be really brave and courageous and ask the questions and seek to understand and do all those sorts of things that might seem to put us in a vulnerable position. But ultimately, that's what great leaders do. And you will build from that. So that's one thing that we want to try and avoid if we possibly can. Another one is disrespect. So I don't know if you've ever had a leader yourself like this that really disrespects others. And, you know, how did that make you feel? It does hurt people and it hurts organisations. So the kind of people who make up great organisations do not tolerate disrespect. If you're disrespecting others, or even if you're tolerating others who disrespect you, it just shows a lack of self-esteem. So everybody deserves to be respected. We need to embrace the diversity that we have and all those sorts of things. So disrespect is one thing that you might want to pull away from. Envy. Has anyone had those leaders or somebody seen a leader that might take the credit for other people's work? And it's usually built out of envy, you know. Great leaders take great pride in what they can accomplish as a team, and they like to encourage the team. They like to watch others succeed, and there's no room in there for envy. So if somebody in your team is really good at something, then, you know, it's not a time to be envious. It's time to be proud. So, so that's one that we thought probably wasn't conducive of a great leader. Ingratitude. So great leaders, and this sort of comes in with the envy one, doesn't it? So ingratitude. So if you've got team members that are doing really valuable stuff, then it's really great to value that hard work and know that your whole team can't be successful without everybody. So being able to be grateful, being able to appreciate, recognise, reward, all those sorts of things are really, really important for great leadership. And those that don't show this, they're in the crap leader list. Favoritism. I haven't seen a lot of this, but I'm sure it's out there. So leaders who practice favoritism in the workplace have no chance to build trust or respect. So it does diminish all those other ones that we've already talked about that are so important. So great leaders value all their people and all their gifts while understanding their different needs. And they do the best to try to treat everybody well. Doesn't mean everybody the same, it means everybody well. This sometimes may look like favoritism on the surface because you're not treating everyone the same. So for example, let's say in your team you've got somebody who's really, really highly experienced and somebody who isn't. You might be spending a lot of time with somebody who isn't because they need your help. This really undermines culture and environment. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Flick? I haven't seen this either. You have seen this. Oh, right, you have seen this. Yeah, it's... yeah, I can understand how it would too. So, for example, if you've got someone experienced, someone not experienced on your team, and you're spending a lot of time with the person who's not so experienced because you're trying to build their capability, that might seem like favoritism, but in fact, it's not. You need to treat everybody well and give them the support that they need at the time. So that's kind of where you have to balance it. And if you feel people are feeling a bit miffed, then it's really good to sit down and have a conversation and say to them, you know, I'm spending a lot of time with Tom because he's, you know, started this new role and I'm just trying to help him build his capability. if there's anything that you want from me, you know, I'm here for you to support you and everything you need. So it's just being really quite transparent with what you're doing. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're being, you know, you're showing favoritism, but yeah, as you say, Flick, it can absolutely undermine the culture and the environment that you're in if this is happening. Laziness. So great leadership requires hard work, and it does, you know. I mean, you might have a really high-performing team that are doing everything and making you look great, and that's good, but it takes a lot of work to get there, you know. So you might be thinking, okay, this task needs to be done. I can get it done in 2 hours, but instead of me getting it done, I'm actually going to build the capability in my team to get it done, and it's going to take 4 or 5 hours of me coaching to do that. So in fact, you're going to be working harder and longer to get the same amount done, but in the end, it's going to be better off for the team as a whole, because suddenly they're going to build their capability. So the way you're coaching and supporting others, yeah, it does take hard work, does take longer. So laziness really cannot be in the picture. Even when your team are high performing and they're doing everything that you need to do and you're reaching your KPIs and all the tasks are being done in their deadlines, then what you'll be doing as a leader is looking for things on how you can keep them motivated and keep them at that level. So you're always working to do things and be the person that you can be. So laziness is out the picture. Conceit. I had one of these, again in the military, that really loved himself, let me tell you. They thought they were the smartest in their room. They thought they were the best looking. They thought they were the bee's knees. And they knew everything without consulting others. So this does sort of partner with arrogance as well. Have you had one of those? Has anyone had one of those leaders that just knew everything, just couldn't be told? They knew everything. They knew all the answers. I can still picture him in my head. It was almost laughable, to the point where the team used to make fun of him, which is not the right thing to do, but that's what you're setting yourself up for if you're going to be very conceited, you know. And I'm not saying that any of you guys are, because I think that's far from it, but just to answer Phil's question about what not to do, or what makes a crap leader, somebody who thinks they're always the smartest in the room, they know best, they don't even consult others. Conceit is always partners with arrogance, as I've mentioned. And this is never compatible with compassion and understanding. So really, really something to be aware of there. And I'm still looking at him in my mind. Oh dear, it's a shame. And the other one is rigidity. So there is some things that you need to be really quite rigid about. So it would be something around your values, your vision. It could be something about safety, well-being, all those sorts of things. Absolutely, let's be rigid about those, because they're rules for a reason, right? So if you've got safety rules in place, if you have to wear protective equipment in your workplace or whatever, they're rules that we need to be rigid about, because they're there for a reason, to keep people safe, to keep people out of harm's way. But there are issues that you might be called upon to be a little bit more agile and adaptable with. If you have been doing a task the same way for lots and lots and lots of months, times, years, whatever, then somebody in your team comes along and says, do you know what, I wouldn't mind having a crack at that task, and they try and do it a different way, then try and sit back and be a little bit agile. Okay, explain to me, Tom, you want to do this task, you're doing it a bit different to the way I would do it. Help me understand how are you finding that? What's working with it? And rather than trying to say, no, this is not the right way, just try and be that little bit more adaptable, because other people might find just an easier way to do things, or a better way to do things, or a different way to do things. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong, yeah? So that rigidity is something that, you know, you just want to look at. There's some things that you do need to be rigid about. There's some things that you need to be a little bit more agile and adaptable to. If anyone's got any questions or thoughts or insights, please let me know. Another one's poor communication. Now, this has come up a lot. I did an activity not long ago with a team of people and their leader, and the big thing that came out of it was there was a lack of communication. So as read here, communication is how leaders keep people in the organisation healthy and on track so they can fulfil their vision, goals and objectives. The key to a culture of successful environment is where people can thrive without unnecessary dysfunction or confusion. And this means great communication. So as a leader, you want to be able to be clear with your communications. You want communications that reinforce that human connection. So that might be things like making sure you're doing recognition and rewards where it's necessary. All those sorts of things are really, really important. Communicating with your team, making feel everybody is part of they feel part of the team, part of the group. You know, everybody knows kind of what everybody's doing so they can tap in where they need to. All those sorts of things are really, really, really important. And if you find leaders are holding on to information, then that's usually a power play. Oh, Kim, you're not getting any audio or visual. Is everybody else hearing and seeing me? Because Kim's having a bit of trouble. Can you just say yes if you can hear and see me? Or not see me, hear and see my slide, I should say. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, all good. Okay, Kim. The only thing that I can say, hi, Leanne. The only thing I can say, Kim, and you probably can't hear me saying this, but log on and log off and log back on again. Try and reconnect. Hopefully we'll get her back. Yeah, okay. All right, try and reconnect, Kim. See if that helps. I hope she gets back. Okay, so with regards to communication, so really, really important to keep that communication up and to make sure that everybody is sort of in the know of what's going on and how things are working. Knowledge is power, and if people use it as a power play, then you will totally lose respect of your team. You will lose credibility. You will cause frustration. The culture will change. And then that will be suddenly an example that you give to other people in your team that that's okay. I'll let you guys sort that out. Hopefully Kim can find us back. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. So what happens if people hold information back, then the rest of the team starts thinking that's okay, and they start replicating those behaviours, and that's not what you want. Okay, what you want is to be able to share information quite openly, even if it's that stuff that is a little bit awkward to talk about. You know, that one that I could talk about, Johnny having the radio up way too loud in the office, driving everybody crazy. Let's communicate with Johnny and say, you know what, Johnny, you're a great guy. That's driving me crazy. Borrow my headphones. You know, at least you're letting them know what's going on, and you're getting that smelly fish on the table. And what I call smelly fish is problems that could cause rifts in a team. So get that smelly fish on the table, get it out there, talk about it, communicate effectively, and you'll find that that's going to be a lot better for everybody. All right. That was it. How did we find that? Was there any I missed, do you think? Have you had a leader that have shown other sort of behaviours that have made them a really crap leader? If so, please let us know. I think there's been a few out there, but let us know. So now it's over to you guys. Question time if you've got any sort of questions for me, thoughts, queries. I'm actually going to put my face back on because I'm hoping that might help Kim get back with us. All right, I'm back. So, Kim, hopefully you're back with us. I use Chrome, so Chrome should be okay, but yeah. Okay, any questions, thoughts, queries from anybody? I've got some, while you're thinking about those questions, thoughts or queries, I've got some announcements that I want to share with you. Now, it's really exciting because those that started the program on the 1st of May, Module 3 would have opened up now, which is woohoo, Module 3's opened up. So congratulations to those that have got access to Module 3 now, so well done. Hopefully you find it interesting. Would love some feedback. Now, I've had some great feedback over the week. Some feedback was I was sending out too many emails. Thank you for telling me. It's really, really great to know. You'll notice this week I've pulled back on those emails. So this is all the stuff that's really, really important to me to make this as best experience as possible. So thank you very much for those people that let me know. And I have pulled back on those emails, and I've even gone into Webinar, because Webinar used to send out Webinar Jam, the platform that I use to do my webinars, actually send out their own emails as well. So I have actually pulled back on those. So hopefully that's made a difference for you guys. Expert secrets. As you know, every month I interview one of our experts in the industry, in the leadership industry. I had a brilliant expert secret set up for this month, and he had some family issues that he had to dash off to Melbourne for. I think his mum's not very well, so I'm setting up another one, so it might be a little bit delayed. So I apologise for that, but other priorities obviously came up. So I'll set him up for another module down the track, but we will get another expert secret in to have that interview with. So look out for that. For those that didn't know, 5 new tools went onto the tool suite last week. Yep, last week. So go onto the tool suite, have a look. You'll find some pretty interesting stuff there, and we are getting some more tools set up really, really soon. So keep your eye on that tool suite. It's growing all the time. Remember, if you do have a question that you want to ask for Q&A Thursday, please send them through. Phil, thank you for sending that one. I don't think you're online at the moment, but thanks for sending that one through. It was really good fun. So if you've got any more questions, send them through. And other than that, I think it is expert secrets. I've told you about. Module 3's opened. Woohoo! 5 new tools. Make sure you keep asking questions on the ask@teamleadertoolkit.com. And I have pulled back on the emails as per your feedback. So thank you for that feedback. Brilliant. All right, that's about it for me. So has anyone got any questions? Have you got any pain points that you're going through right now? Is some of your team questions you might have about them? Anything at all, let me know, and let's see if we can solve it for you. Other than Kim, I can't seem to solve yours. I hope you've come back to me. So yes, so just put them in there. If not, just let me know all good or no questions, and we'll go from there. I think we are all good. None for me. No worries, Flick. No worries at all. Nothing from you, Ken. Nice to see you, Leanne, or see that you're on. All good, Hayley. No worries. Okay, fantastic. Quick one this week. Wasn't even half an hour. Woo! All right, so remember, send those questions through on ask@teamleadertoolkit.com. I have my team ready to answer them, and we love going through and brainstorming answers for you. So send them through. And I have my expert secrets. I'll let you know when the interview's set up so that I can upload it onto the site. All right, guys, you take care, and I will see you for Q&A Thursday next Thursday. Cheers. Bye.